Welcome to Wildcat Game Day Preview. I'm your host, Andrew Fenichel, and this week we have a special guest on the show, Peter Warren, editor of sports for the Daily Northwestern. Peter, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So Northwestern's coming off a huge come-from-behind overtime victory over the Nebraska Cornhuskers last week. And Peter, before we kind of jump into some of the X's and O's of this upcoming matchup for the Wildcats, I want to ask you one question about that Nebraska game. What was Northwestern able to do against the Cornhuskers to find success that you think they should continue to do moving forward?
Well, they really, in the second half, really started to finish drives and finish possessions, which they've struggled with for a decent part of the year. In 4 of the last 5 possessions of the game, they either scored a touchdown or a field goal, with the only one not being a scoring possession being an interception. So they really started to finish drives. Clayton Thorson, they really put the ball in his hands and let him make plays, which is going to be a key moving forward. Also, penalties. This is a very underrated part of Northwestern this year. They have the least amount of penalty yards and penalties themselves in the country. And when you don't have penalties, you don't give up extra yards, it can be a big help, as it was against Nebraska.
Hey, it's as simple as that for Northwestern moving forward. Great analysis there, Peter. And so with that, I say, why not? Let's look ahead. Northwestern is on the road this week, going into the great state of New Jersey to face off against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And my first question about this matchup, Peter, pretend I'm Northwestern head coach Pat Fitzgerald, and I haven't done any prep for this game. Give me a 30-second scouting report. What is Rutgers like? What kind of offense do they run? And maybe name a few players to watch for.
Well, Rutgers has only one win this year, none of them in the Big Ten. And last week against Maryland was a very tough loss for them. Art Sikowski, their true freshman quarterback who played at IMG Academy last year, he was 2 for 16 with only 8 yards and 4 interceptions. On the year, he has 15 interceptions and only 3 touchdowns. The offense really struggles. They have 3 running backs they use, and it's been a real modge podge of who they decide to use. It's on a week-by-week basis. Defensively, they are not very good as well. They average to lose by 29 points a game, which is quite incredible considering they're a Big Ten team.
So Rutgers struggling a little bit this season, I think it's fair to say. Moving on to Northwestern's side of this game, give me your 3 keys to the game for Northwestern. What does Northwestern need to do to get a victory this week?
Well, I think jumping out to an early lead is key, especially against a team like Rutgers, that has really struggled this year against quality opponents like Northwestern. Getting out to an early lead could be a big success to sort of take the ease and pressure off. Because if you start sort of getting into a game with these guys, it could end up turning on its head. Also, I think they should really try to develop the running attack. Rutgers has one of the worst rushing defenses in the country. It's in the bottom 10 in the NCAA. And I think a real key is going to be trying to get the running game going, which has struggled in recent weeks. Solomon Vaught, it was just announced today, is out, which means John Moden IV should get most of the carries. And a third key is just don't let Rutgers get any momentum. Northwestern should win this game pretty handily, in my opinion. Rutgers has not really shown a skill to play with Big Ten teams like Northwestern. So if they allow Rutgers to get, say, an early touchdown or an early turnover, it could be doomsday for the Cats.
You said Northwestern should have a pretty handily time winning this game on Saturday. Can we get a score prediction?
Yep. So Northwestern and Rutgers have played only 3 times before this, 1919, 1989, 1991. Northwestern has not won any. Turns around on the banks of the Great Raritan River in New Jersey. Northwestern covers the spread of about 21 points. They win 33-6.
You heard it here first, folks. 33-6 Northwestern on Saturday. Thank you for tuning in to Wildcat Game Day Preview. I'm Andrew Fenichel. We will see you next time.